bag, gemstones, Flintstones. You can say I'm friends with Fred. Dipset. Man, you already know what it is. Jay Williams, let's live life, and we're back. I have returned. For all the first-time viewers, first-time watchers, do me a favor, do me a solid. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button real quick. I usually don't ask people to subscribe. I've never been the subscribe kind of guy that says subscribe. I'm usually, man, if you want to do it, do it. If you don't want to do it, don't do it. I don't care. I do care. If y'all don't know, I just came back off of a hack. What is a hack? Somebody hacked my Gmail, took over my YouTube, held it hostage, drained the bank account. A whole lot went on. I even had somebody hit me up in an email and say, I am in touch with the hacker. He wants to know if you got anything you want to say. You know what I said? God bless him. That was it. Kept it moving. So, with all that being said, if you're new here, go ahead and subscribe, like, share, comment, and make sure to turn the notification bell on so you will catch all the videos as they drop. Also, make sure you go check out my second channel, Jay Williams, I'm Living Life. Because what we're going to do is, you're going to be watching a video and then it's going to just stop. It's going to say, for part 2, make sure you go check out Jay Williams, I'm Living Life. That's coming soon, so when it happens, don't act like I didn't tell you it was coming. Today, I have a crazy set of stories for y'all. I'm not sure if I'm going to have enough to tell you 2 of them, 3 of them, or just the main one that I got on my mind. But in thinking about the topic, a whole lot of these came to mind. The links guys will go to get high. Things I have seen guys do. You know, it's crazy, man. Dudes they'll smoke hardball, they'll smoke crack their entire life. End up in prison behind it. And want to smoke some more crack. Legitly, they will want to do some more after it has already taken everything they own, everything they have. Now they're in prison chasing it, hitting grandma up, crying and lying, calling their wife, crying and lying, calling their friends, crying and lying. Every damn week, they need some crazy amount of money, like we don't know they're on drugs again. You need what? $300 for what are you buying? The prison selling Jordans now? Oh, yeah, that's a good excuse. It's usually not a good excuse. It's usually something you can see right through. So that's what we're doing today. That's what today's stories are. The extremes, the lengths, the things guys will do in order to get high. All true stories, all 1,000,000% things I watched, seen, witnessed, viewed with these 2 eyes. I'm not a get high kind of guy. I don't even smoke tree. Makes me paranoid.
I just say paranoid.
Why lie? I don't even smoke. I used to, smoked it heavy, and then I got to a point where I was like, you know what? This ain't for me. When I smoke, every car in the world is a cop car. School buses become cop cars. Airplanes become cop helicopters. Dogs become K9. And I'm a law-abiding citizen. Chalk it up to whatever you want to. So without further ado, it feels so good to be back. You know I done seen it. You know I done lived it. So, let's read. We are up here at the mall, Chesterfield Town Center, doing some last-minute shopping. We're pretty much done, but today is my wife's birthday, so I wanted to get her just a little bit more. She got this Tom Ford perfume, this red bottle, and she got a puppy, a little teacup Yorkie named Chewy. He is a chip machine, if you get what I'm saying. But anyways, we are up here at the mall to do some shopping, to get some gifts for the ones that I love. I like to make something clear. I do not think that addiction is funny. In no way, shape, or form do I think that somebody giving up everything they own, degrading themselves, losing their physical appearance, their health, their friends, everything around them to addiction. I do not find it to be funny at all. In fact, addiction has pretty much just took my family and ripped it to shreds. I've got siblings that have been fighting addiction since I was in prison. When I left, that wasn't what it was. When I left, everybody was still themselves. Might have smoked some trees here and there, but that was pretty much the end of it. When I returned, people had been in and out of jail. Some of them were locked up. They weren't even out to see me get out. And they would make tons of trips back and forth, in and out of jail over the years. In prison, you are going to run into a lot of guys that are in there behind drug-related offenses. You got guys that steal. You got guys that rob. You got guys that kill. You got guys that, you name it, they do it. Just to get that next fix, to feed that monster, to take the edge off, to not have to deal with reality, whatever their excuse is, they do it for one reason or another. So you're going to meet all kinds of guys in there that are shifty, shady, conniving, sneak thieves. Like, you ever heard the term prison larceny or dope fiend larceny? It's a term we use in prison. When somebody comes up and you know it's game when they come up, because they be like, listen, man, listen, hear me out real quick. Listen, soon as the conversation starts off like that, you know that guy's about to try to run some game on you. Hey, look, I got some money coming, okay? Listen. No, I really got money this time. All right, let me see the slip. A slip is what you get. You know, once you get money to you, you get a little slip that states that somebody sent you money. Let me see the slip. The slip. Look, the money ain't come yet, but I talked to my people. They sent it yesterday. Man, get on out of here. Dudes are going to do anything. They will borrow things from you with a very high interest rate, and it still not be enough. So then they go borrow from that guy. When it's all said and done, they owe $200 in commissary for maybe $100, if that. If somebody knows that guy's in a jam and that he's chasing, that's what we call it when you see that guy out there and he's scrambling and he's looking at every dope boy on the yard, and anybody's got the pack he's walking up to, trying to figure out how he can run his game. Man, you know I can sew, I can draw too. And let me put some pockets in those sweatpants for you. Hey, I got these sneakers for sale. I got these cheeseburgers. It gets deep. Tennessee. Let me tell y'all about Tennessee. I originally noticed Tennessee because of his accent. I walked by and he was talking to a group of guys. And I'm not big on eavesdropping. Mind my business for the most part. But some guys are just loud. They will put you in their business and you don't want to be in their business. But they're so loud you can't help but hear what they got going on. Kind of just loud for nothing. Tennessee was a white dude, chubby, fat white dude that was loud for nothing. And to say that he was from Tennessee, I mean, that was his nickname. Maybe he wasn't from Tennessee. He had one of the most country accents I've run across to this day. Would fit in on Duck Dynasty. He could chill with Boomhauer. Like, the boy was country. Tennessee had some of the nicest prison ink I had seen. The portrait work he had on him was next level. This was stuff that a lot of shops in the streets couldn't produce. The portrait game was serious. We had some portrait artists up there at the time that were tattooing that could not only make it look like the picture, but actually make that look like it's coming up off of your skin. All with the ingenuity and the craftsmanship of the penitentiary gun and making the ink and the pattern. It all starts, and then the finished product is just unbelievable. First, I noticed his accent. Second, I noticed his tattoos, like all up and down his arms, and then he had two very distinct tattoos on top of his hands of fictional characters. Tennessee chased, and when I mean he chased, he hung with dudes that got high. His whole squad was the get high squad. Every single last one of them dudes would do anything you put down in front of them. They did not poke their nose up at nothing. Equal opportunity when it comes to narcotics. It always ends bad, but it always starts, I guess you could say, somewhat good when it comes to these type of situations. In the beginning, he had tons and tons of money. His people weren't on to the fact that he was strung out again. To them, and to most parents, loved ones that have somebody that's locked up that's doing time, they hear he's locked up, and in their mind, they're thinking, good. He can get clean now. I can get my baby back. I can get my son back. I can get my brother back. He's incarcerated. He's not going to get high no more. Little do they know that inside of there, inside that facility, inside that jail, inside that prison, there are drugs everywhere. Now, the problem with this is that those drugs are marked up by, let's say, minimum 60%. So what you would pay $5 for on the streets, you can pay somewhere around $100 for in prison. I've literally seen sticks of weed. That's what we call a stick. Because when you roll it, it legitimately looks like a little flat stick. Like you crunch the paper and you're like, man, there ain't even nothing in here. And dudes will pay $10 for a stick. Now, this is the equivalent. This is the amount of weed that if you sat in your car and rolled a blunt or rolled a joint, now you get to shake on your lap. When you step out the vehicle, you brush your jeans off. That just hit the ground, that stuff that just came off your jeans, that's $10 in prison. You get into the heavier drugs. You get into the coke. You get into the crack. You get into the dope. These guys are getting next to nothing for a whole lot of money. They're spending $100 for a dime bag of dope. For a point, they're spending $100. And usually it's stepped on, it's cut up, it's been passed around, the quality of it started to drop, starting to go bad, and these dudes are chasing. Tennessee was one of those dudes that just fit the entire description of what I just told you with all the backlog. In the beginning, he kept his weight up. In the beginning, he would go to commissary and he'd come back with these big bags, but you would see him sitting over there scratching his nose. He'd be nodding. The dudes he talked to and kicked it with, you see them always scratching, nodding. Some of them would have abscesses on their hands, abscesses on their arms from where they were shooting and missing. Dudes had full-fledged dope habits in the prison. Track marks all up and down their arms. You would see some dudes that would shoot it in the neck, would have track marks up the side of their neck. Some guys would shoot in their feet. It's crazy, to say the least. As I said, everything was good with Tennessee at first. His people are sending it. They're sending it. They're sending it. Now, he doesn't get visits very often. He's an out-of-towner. He doesn't come from Virginia. He's here locked up, and I don't know why he's locked up. I'm going to guess drugs. But for whatever reason, he finds himself in the Virginia Department of Corrections, doing him a good little 5-6 year stretch. But his people not seeing him. They're just under the impression they're sending that money and that he's filling his tummy. That he's doing what he should be doing with the money. That he's eating food, he's surviving. He's got everything he needs. Man, my baby boy is off drugs. You see that last picture? Man, he looks good. Show your Uncle Johnny what he looks like. Hey, John, hey, look at Tennessee. Boy, they got clean, man. Prison saved that boy's life. Meanwhile, they haven't seen a recent picture of him. I watched the downfall of him. I watched the dude that, when I first glimpsed him and met him, that had all the nice ink work, that had the size on him, that had the nice Levi jeans, the Levi jacket, and the Pro Tem, looking like prison's finest, like a GQ model straight out of prison that chewed tobacco. I seen him when he was at his prime. Then he starts dibbling and dabbling. And it starts off small. Even with me being an alcoholic, if I was to relapse, it would start off small. I'd have a drink. Then that drink wouldn't be good enough. I'd have 2 drinks. Then them 2 drinks wouldn't be good enough. Next thing you know, I'd have a bottle of Jack in my hand, and I'd be turning that bitch all the way up. Gluck, 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 no chaser. That's how I would drink it, right? Tennessee was the equivalent of me drinking alcohol. That was him when it came to drugs. He started off buying a little bit here and there, buying some weed, buying the pills, buying the dope, buying the small things that lead up to his full-blown addiction. It doesn't take long with these type of things. Anybody that's had family or someone they love that dealt with addiction, you watched it. You will watch it tear them down. Sometimes in a matter of weeks, sometimes it takes months. Some people can maintain and hold on, and it might even take years, but it's always going to end bad. It's going to have the same results. Tennessee's whole process of going from being the fly guy with the nice tattoos and, you know, the nice Levi's and all that, in 6 months' time, he was a scrub. In 6 months' time, this dude had, at probably being 5'11", maybe 240 fat boy status. Not a healthy 240, like a honey bun, melted lollipop. I ate all the Tootsie Rolls type 240. To probably about 165, 170. To being somebody that if you hadn't seen him 6 months ago, you would just think, damn, that's a skinny ass dude. Almost to the point that he looked sick. He had those dark bags under his eyes. His face was starting to sink in. This dude was doing up all of the dope. The pack would come in, and he would go buy the entire pack. There wouldn't even be a pack for the compound to hit. You got other dudes that are going to him to cop, because he's going to sell some of it to try to make his money back, but he's going to cut it. He's going to crush vitamins up and mix vitamins in the dope. He's doing all these different things to be sneaky, already stepping on dope that's been stepped on 25 times. He's done ran the well dry. His people are on to it. They pop up. Oh, we're going to surprise him. Go up there and see him, man. Damn, he's doing good. I know he's going to be so surprised when he sees us. They walk into that visiting room, and they come face to face with the same man that they knew in the streets. He looked like the same guy, if not worse, that they remembered. Probably had to have looked worse than he did on his mugshot. This guy was greasy. He didn't have soap, shampoo. He didn't have none of that. Anything that was unopened and that could be traded or sold, he would sell to get high. His addiction has gotten so bad that I do not know how administration didn't see it. And I honestly think that administration didn't care. He would get called randomly for piss tests. And at this time, they were real laxed. This officer, this sergeant, the one that would call on this shift, he wasn't trying to see it. There's some that want to see you shake it. They want you to cuff it. They do everything but pull out a measuring tape on it. These guards weren't those guards. They would tell you, step in the bathroom, pee in the cup, and they would turn their back. And I've done exactly what he did. You pour that little bottle out, pop the top, pour it in there, or pour it in, put it in the glove, tear that finger to the glove, have it right underneath your package, and leak it out just like you're peeing. He spun the piss test time and time again, so if they were suspicious, the urine came back clean. Maybe he just ain't eating right. Maybe he's sick. Whatever it is, we ain't got nothing on him. I've seen a lot of people get slapped. Slapping someone next to spitting on them is one of the ultimate disrespects in prison. If you and a man got an issue and he's got any inclination or thoughts that you might be afraid of him, there's one way to clear that up real quick. Aside from just beating him up and punching him, take your hand, do like this, and you just reach out and you open hand, slap the doggish out of him. After you slap him, he's either going to fight you and attack you, or if he was pump faking and he ain't really built like that, he's going to grab his face and back up and, why'd you hit me? In complete disbelief. Tennessee keeps chasing these dope boys around, questioning about this, trying to make this move, make that move. He owes these boys money. He owes them boys money. All these dudes are in communication together. It's a small network of drug dealers, and they all kind of link together so they don't step on each other's toes. We're all out on the yard, and there's a small section of fence that goes to the large yard from what we call the small yard. Now, the small yard has a full court basketball set up. It's got bleachers for the basketball games. It's got, a couple different half courts. He's coming from that side over to the large yard where these dudes are standing as soon as you come to this little gate with barbed wire across your head. Standing there pestering, trying to run his game. Pretty much now he's to the point that he knows he can't run game. He knows he can't get anything. He starts begging. Please, I'm sick. And I used to chill not far from right where that gate is. There's a section of phone booths right there on the yard that we would do dips on. If we weren't doing dips on them, we would just hop up and sit on top of the payphones, right? That was our little kicking spot, aside from the center of the field, Cracker Beach, or the bleachers. I see this dude, 15, 20 feet at the most, begging, pleading. Dude tells him, man up, man, go on somewhere, stop begging. When you get some money, you get our money right, come back and holler at me. Otherwise, beat feet, man, haul ass, man, kick rocks. Like, get up out of my face with that larceny you're trying to run. You ain't got no money. You're not getting no work. Go on somewhere. Tennessee's persistent, continues. Please, man, I'm sick. Look, you can see I'm sick. I'm throwing up, man. Just help me, get me well, man. That's means I'm sick. Give me a little bit so I won't be sick no more. Get me well, man. How y'all gonna do me like this? I spent all that money. They don't care about you. I spent all that money with y'all, man. Y'all gonna let me be sick like this? I ain't had none in a day and a half. I'm going through it. And next thing you know, dude cocks back. Pow! An open hand slap. Tennessee's smile slam off his face. That hand come across his face, and it had the force that you would have thought it could have broke his neck. Like when I say he took DNA up off that boy's face, he might not ever grow hair where he got slapped. He slapped that boy so hard. That's an exaggeration. But he open hand slapped it. Pow! I told you, go on somewhere. Standing here drawing attention, begging, man. Go on somewhere. Tennessee stumbles back, hits the ground, sitting there in the dirt, all frail, skinny, with some of the best ink I'd ever seen on an inmate in prison. Makes his way up, was still going. Damn, you gonna do me like that, man? You gonna do me like that? Damn, you slap me in front of everybody. You can at least bless me for letting you slap me. You know what dude said? I'll slap shit out you again. You don't get up out of it. Tennessee says, how about I let you slap me twice, man? You just get me well, and I'll let you slap me as hard as you can, man. I swear to God, you can open hand and slap me as hard as you want. Just get me well. My mind is blown. That man just repositioned your entire face. Your cheek is lit up like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. If you were to walk out in traffic, cars would stop because your face is shining red. Dude said, you want me to slap you? Now you can look, I'm talking about his heart, and this is not a small dude that slapped him. He just got slapped by Debo's big brother. You gonna let me slap you for a point? You gonna still owe for the point? I'll front it to you, but you gonna owe for it. Whatever, man, whatever. Hold your chin up. Hold your chin up. What I used to tell him. He puts his head up. If you flinch, it don't count. I've seen videos of this on YouTube, and I've seen the same thing happen in real life. If you flinch, it don't count. Because I didn't get to slap you the way I want to. If you move just a little bit, oh, that wasn't a good slap. Nah, run that back. If you flinch, it don't count. All right. Dude slaps you. Bah! Tennessee stumbles back, falls over on the ground. Hops right back up. Face is now knotted up, bruised, lumps, fingerprints. The outline of the man's wedding ring left a big knot on the side of his cheek that looked like a minus symbol. All right, come on. Now I want the other cheek. The other cheek. Tennessee turned his head. Wow! That time he flinched. As the hand was coming in, he smacked him, fell over on the ground. He gets up. All right, you flinched. No flinchies. Not allowed to flinch. Nah, bro, that shit didn't count. You flinched. Come on, man, with that dumb man. Come on, man. That's 3 slaps now. And he still ain't got nothing. Now you got to run that back. Let me get my slap. All right, man. This time he closes his eyes. I guess that way, if he sees it, I guess that's why he probably flinched first time, because he saw it coming. He was like, This time he closes his eyes. He slaps him. Bow! Falls down again. That one did a little toll on him. Took him a minute to get up. And you see dude look around, reach in his waistband, pull out a little fold of paper that had a tiny bit of heroin in it. Just a little tiny bit of dope. Give it to him and tell him, get on up out of here. Now, other dudes have heard what happened. Not to mention, I want to say it's probably August, September. The yard is packed. We still have night rec. Everybody's coming out. The weather is just starting to break to where it's somewhat tolerable. Everybody just watched this man get open hand slapped. You heard it. If you didn't see it, you heard it. And then everybody would scan the yard, look around, and you see man down. And then that's when people really started watching as he took 2 more slaps. He took his stuff, went over upside the fence line where I'd seen so many dudes do what I'm about to tell you. He sat right down on the yard with the guard tower to his back where they couldn't see him. Pulled out the bottom of a soda can, pulled out his lighter, threw it in there, hit it, and they would keep little prayer oil bottles, these little round bottles. We call them dram bottles or prayer oil bottles full of water. You could hit a couple drops of water in there, threw his piece of cotton in there, and boom, shot up right there on the yard in front of everybody. Everybody just watched you get crippled by them slaps. Everybody's ears are ringing because of the slaps you just got. And then you just went and validated what you got going on as if everybody didn't know, and just sat down on the yard in front of everybody. Could you imagine that you're at that point in life, and not only do you let everybody know that you're at that point in life, but you go sit down and do it right in front of them? It was very common up there to see people shooting up. Shot up his dope, got up. Life came back into him, went and linked up with his homeboys. We get inside the building, and Tennessee looks like the damn Marshmallow Man. He's got this skinny, frail body, but his face almost looks like it's back to the size it should be because it's so damn swollen. His face is sitting out here from where he's been slapped with that big-ass purple knot that looked like a minus sign, that looked like it would forever be engraved on his cheekbone, just puffed out. Time comes for Tennessee to pay. He's still juking and jiving. Every single day he's got to find a way to get by. Anybody that's ever dealt with this sickness that comes with the dope or seeing somebody deal with it, you know it's like the flu times 1,000. Tennessee's starting to go to different extremes. He got caught stealing to get high. He went in a dude's cell, tried to steal a bag of tobacco. The dude's cellie was coming out of the shower, seen him going there, ran over there, caught him in the act, and beat him up. He was going to take that tobacco along with some other things he had stolen and go trade it. So now he's known as a thief. We get a bigger dude in the pod, a lifer dude that is known to, I think he was like one of them old school convicts that just liked the feeling of degrading another man. Letting everybody know I took his manhood. He would be one of the dudes that moved into our pod, and he was also one of the plugs from the other side of the yard. This dude single-handedly had more dope than all these other guys combined. And he wasn't going to be part of their network and share with this one and share with that one. He didn't have to. He had the size and the reputation for violence that let everybody know, I'm going to hustle out here and ain't nobody going to do nothing. I'm not breaking bread. I will serve your customers. I will step on your feet. And if you don't like it, come see me. Tennessee goes to this dude. Tries to run his game. All the other guys, the lifers, the guys been down a long time, more solid individuals. I hate to call them solid just because they associated with the dude and the things he did. But a lot of guys have gone to him and kind of giving him the rundown. You'll get the rundown when you come in the pod of who's who. Yeah, dude right there, he's lost. He's good, he's bad money. They had told him. Tennessee owes all these boys in here money. And he gets high. Don't let him come over there trying to run those dope debts on you, trying to run that dope fiend larceny on you. He ain't going to be able to pay you. You can end up having to hurt him. Tennessee goes over, tries to run his game. Dude tells him it ain't happening. Not happening. This is in front of all of us. We're not at rec at this point. We're in the pod. This dude, we got a hot pot that makes hot water and some phones hanging on the wall. And they're up there by that area where the microwave is, standing there. And he tells him, ain't nothing happening, man. Go on, haul ass. You know what I mean? Like, got nothing for you. You ain't got no money. Stop fronting. You gonna get something from me and make me hurt you, Tennessee. For real. At which point Tennessee says, well, what do I got to do, man? What do you got to do? Did he just say everybody knows what this man does? This man has those type of relations with other men. And like I told y'all, he doesn't want a man that dresses like a woman, talks like a woman, walks like a woman. He doesn't want anybody that's trans. He doesn't really even want anybody that's gay. He wants to turn people out. He whispers something in Tennessee's ear. You see Tennessee's head go back. I don't know what he said. Got a pretty good idea of what he said. Something along the lines of, well, if you will let me. Tennessee said, nah. Shook his head, nah, you tripping. Walked off. Wouldn't be long. We watched Tennessee make his way over to that dude's cell. That dude tells his cellmate, get out. You see Tennessee go in and you see the old head that stays in the cell with dude leave up out the cell. You see dude shut his cell door. We used to put the pillow in the door. There's a slot in your door about the thickness of a pillow. And you see the pillow go in the door. We know what's going on. One or two things is going on. He's either down on his knees. This is so traumatizing and disturbing. Some time passes. The door pops. Tennessee comes out, shoots straight up to his cell, and came out of his cell after he did his shot like nothing ever happened. Well, we all watched it happen. We didn't have to hear what happened. We didn't have to see what happened. The rumors and gossip had already started. Hey, Tennessee let old boy bong for that pack. For how much? What you mean for how much? What, you'll do it? There's a price for you'll do it for how much? What you mean how much? That'll make you question, man. How much he get? Why, you gonna go try it? Man, never mind. Stupid question. So now everybody knows. Now everybody, man, get your gate. You dudes are just running their mouths to him. Dude comes to him again. Tennessee gets beat up a couple days after this on the yard for owing money to somebody in another building. The big dude comes to him, tells him, we can make an arrangement. How many people do you owe money? Because you know what's going to happen. Now the ones beat you up because they ain't got the money, they're all going to start beating you up. And what's going to happen is you're going to end up with a piece of steel in you. Somebody going to end up taking you up out of here, killing you and taking your life, burying that Rambo blade in your back or putting it in your neck or in your chest because you're playing with that money in there. You're talking crumbs they're putting in this man's hand that they're willing to kill him over. You're talking small amounts of money that to us, we blow on a pair of shoes. Half of that can get you killed in prison. $10 can get you killed in prison. 2 soups, a bag of chips, and a soda will get you killed in prison. Because I've told y'all, it ain't always about the money, it's about the principle. Dude shoots his off at Tennessee. I will wipe out your debts. But what's going to happen is, I'm going to get this old man moved out the cell with me, and you going to move in. With you moving in, that means anytime dude feels a little frisky, anytime he feels like getting down with the get down, Tennessee, you know what time it is. He moved that old man out, Tennessee moved in. There'd be times we'd all just be sitting there, and you'd see dude yell Tennessee's name because he loved to belittle the man. I told you that's part of what they do. It's a power trip. They love the power that comes with it. He would yell Tennessee, hey, come here, get in the cell. Tell him go in the cell, and he'd take his time out there making his coffee, getting him some ice, making something in the microwave, and he'd tell Tennessee go in the cell. Then after he was done doing whatever he was doing, he might drag it out 20 minutes while Tennessee just sat in his cell on the bunk or sat on the stool. Then he would go in the cell, shut the door, put the pillow on the door, and over time it got more and more aggressive. Noises, grunts, sounds. Kind of like the dude was displaying to everybody what he was doing. I didn't know how this was going to end. I knew it would end. The man can't continue to do this forever. They caught him in the act. They had the guards come through one time, and the guards will come through randomly. And this is a crazy ending to Tennessee's ordeal. But the guards will randomly come through. One guard sometimes will walk through, and they will look in cells just to make sure ain't nobody hanging, ain't nobody dead, ain't nobody getting tattoos, rules are being abided by, and they walk by the cell. He pushes the pillow in the door, and you hear the guard go, man, what the are you doing? Oh, hell no, hey. And he radios. The next thing you know, you see other guards come in. And he tells them, I just caught that one right there, doing the oochie coochie to that one right there. Oh, no, that ain't what that's not what we was doing. What was y'all doing? What was y'all doing? The guard red-handed caught big dude in Tennessee with their pants down. At which point, it's against DOC policy to have any type of sexual contact at all. I don't care if it's with a guard, with an inmate, doesn't matter who it is, forbidden, you cannot do it. You can go to the hole for just masturbating. You can go to the hole for self-pleasuring. If someone's to walk up, push that pillow in the door, and catch you, they would say you exposed yourself. Seen it happen. They put both of them in handcuffs and let them up out of there. Now, guys would argue after Tennessee left that he was just a junkie that would do anything to get high. He wasn't gay. He wasn't gay. He used that as a credit card pretty much. His butt became an ATM. Damn, that's crazy to think of. This story turns my stomach. He used his butt as an ATM to make that payday. His services became money. And we all know cash rules everything around me. Crazy story. Now I could put Tennessee's whole name out there. I could get into details about the tattoos that he had on his hand. And it wouldn't take but about 45 seconds before somebody would jump in my comment section and say, I know him. His real name is, I know him. He's from, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to let him spin his story to his people on who he was in prison. Because everybody comes out of prison, they're a gorilla, right? Everybody's a killer. You ain't ever heard nobody come out of prison and say, I was somebody's bitch.
I'm somebody's bitch.
You never heard nobody come out of prison and say they was beating me up and extorting me. No, everybody wants to brag and act like they were the hardest thing since diamonds when they was in prison. When in reality, there's a whole lot of Tennessees up in there. A lot of y'all know a Tennessee or two. You just don't know it. I couldn't imagine letting something take control of me to the point that I'm not willing to just sacrifice it all, but really willing to sacrifice it all. These are the stories I don't like to tell. Glad I got it out there, and I hope that you, the viewer, somebody watching, does not make a mistake that puts themselves in there. Because if you're a guy that's just got to have it, that's not going to be dope sick, that's going to chase that drug no matter what, it's a whole lot of guys that'll turn you into Tennessee real quick. My advice to you is, don't ever put yourself in that situation. Don't do anything to get locked up. I'm here at the mall shopping, buying some last minute Jordans, some more presents. I'm not locked up and I am blessed. Even after everything that happened, I'm still blessed. I just made that video saying I was quitting and how 2022 was a great year and 23 is going to be better than 22. 2022 was a great year and it will go down as a great year. This past situation that just happened will not define the whole year. My children are healthy. They're not sick. Business is going great. And I'm alive. I got my channel back. And here we are. I'm not going to complain. I will get my money back. The bank has pretty much made that clear. It's a process, but you're insured. We've got verification 100% that you were hacked. So I will get my money back. It's just a waiting game. With that amount of money, it's a game. You have to play and wait. But in due time, I'll have it back. Please, people. Please. First of all, you don't have to worry about being addicted to something if you never try it for the first time. Nobody did dope or did coke or did crack the first time and said, you know what? I think I want to be a crackhead. I think I want to be a pipehead. I want to be a smoker. Nobody did dope and said, man, I'm going to be a fiend. Hell yeah. Fiend life? No. It all started off with somebody experimenting, somebody offering it to you, you trying it, you coming across it, and you did it that one time. Had he had never done it that one time, he wouldn't have ended up in prison. Had he had not continued to do it up in prison, well, then old boy wouldn't have ended up in him. Live your best life, people. This don't have to be you. Not everybody gives it up. Some of these guys get it taken from them. Some get all the way violated. You don't want to get slapped. You don't want to get hurt. You do not want to meet these men that are waiting on you. You don't ever want to be in a situation like that. But I promise you, if you get out here breaking the law, your situation might not be that smooth. Because it might not be no asking involved. It might not be an offer. They just might take it. But anyways, these jails, detention centers, these prisons, these facilities, they're all just crazy worlds inside of a already crazy world we live in. And as always, y'all know what I'm doing. Just trying to keep y'all entertained. Are you not entertained? And like always, this is Jay Williams, Let's Live Life. And to all my real ones, and the awesome real ones watching, y'all still watching me. Man, y'all know how we do. Salute. Tennessee, if you're still alive and you're out there and you see this video, I didn't put your name out there. I hope that you learn from your lesson. I hope that you learn from what you went through while we were locked up, and that you have stepped away from it, gotten clean, and that you don't ever go backwards.